Thank you for the likes, fam. Alrighty, so hey. So happy you guys could make it. I was sitting here like, I'm not gonna play Broken Sword if I'm just by myself. That's why I was like, I'm not gonna do it tonight. Yo, we all here. Okay, cool. Let's jump into Broken Sword. Thank you very much. Shadow of the Templar. And let's go. Do you remember our Eureka software, Broken Sword? Restore. Sweet. Yeah, Broken Sword came in a thing called oh my god, it's broken again. I think. Hold on. Yeah, so 1, 2. Done.
Hello again.
At least it's not as bad as it was.
What?
What?
Did you ever see Fitzgerald at Peagram's Dig?
I never heard of either of them.
I'll see you later. Excuse me.
Yo, am I frozen?
Yes, sir?
Yes, sir? Okay, cool. He's not going to talk to
I
me
don't
about
want
that.
anything.
Just give me a shout when you do.
Very strange. Sorry, guys. Something very strange is happening in my chat. Just need to figure out what it was.
Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien.
Hello there. What now?
Oh, nothing. Hey. Hello there again, mister. Do you remember seeing Sean Fitzgerald at the dig?
Let me see now. I think me brain box needs a spot of lubrication.
Can I buy you a drink?
You most certainly can.
Give me a drink for my friend here.
Who? Doyle? Has he conned you into buying for him? Shame on you, Patrick. Same again.
Hey, no, Lisa is a Doyle.
This time, Michael.
One
Right,
pint
Lisa
of
Doyle.
brown coming up.
Do you remember Sean Fitzgerald now?
I can picture the scene as if it was only last week. Come to think of it, it was only last week. Fitzgerald was there all right. Him and a bunch of students. He was speaking with the boss man.
Bye for now.
Yeah, where is our Doyle? She's probably recording her podcast.
Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien.
Hello there. What now?
Oh, nothing.
I always love doing that. Stop what?
Hello.
Oh my gosh. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Alright guys, we're right back. Once it comes back up, I'll show you. Okay.
Doyle told me you definitely worked at the dig. He's seen you there. You might as well admit it.
Just my luck. Grasped up by a delinquent and a dimwit.
I need to talk to Professor Pegram, if he's still alive.
What do you mean? Is he in danger?
Yeah, you too, if I'm right.
You're not from the Social Security.
Hell no.
George,
What makes
you too,
think
if I'm
that?
right.
Well, I was claiming benefit at the same time I was working for Pegram.
I'm not in a position to make judgments, Sean. That's between you and your conscience. All I want is to talk to Pegram about the gem.
But he's not here.
I know that. But he left that package with you, didn't he?
Hold on guys, just doing IT support.
What did Pegram find at the castle?
The entrance to an underground chamber. It was filled with earth and rubble. Pegram had us dig it out. We uncovered a secret room, a hidden chapel.
Did Pegram
Hidden
find
chapel,
the gem
eh?
in the altar room?
I don't know. He made us leave and wouldn't tell us why. Half an hour later he came out. White as a sheet he was. He closed down the dig and locked up the castle, sent us all away.
From the sound of it, Pegram had discovered more than just the gem. So where did Pegram go?
I don't
Like
know.
umming and ahhing like I
Declared.
haven't played this game before.
Came to
But
see me
sometimes there's
early
these
this morning.
details you just
Said
forget.
he was leaving. He asked me to give this package to a guy called Marquet.
Show me what's in the package, Sean.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I promised the professor.
So what? You didn't have any qualms about your benefit scam. So where's the harm in taking a peek inside Pegram's package?
You don't know these people. I can't. I don't dare.
This is your last chance to show me the package, Fitzgerald. I've been patient with you, but now it's time to kick ass.
But he'll kill me.
Who will?
I'm from Paris. Jack Marquet. Pegram told me if I gave him the package unopened, I'd hear no more about it. But if I double-crossed Marquet, I'd be dead.
It's funny, how does George know what Mackay looks like? We don't find this out until later on in the game, and George is like, this is exactly what Mackay looks like.
I'll deal with Jacques Marquet. Give the package to me.
No. Why should I trust you? I don't know who to trust anymore. I wish I'd never even heard of the Lochmarn gem.
Yeah, and then George sealed the deal. Like, what the fuck? George, bro.
Hey, I just seen a big red...
Get out of here, Maguire. Come back when you're old enough.
What's the lad howling about?
A big red sports car. Sean Fitzgerald's been runned over.
Get out! Noisy little tyke.
No
You
one's
should
listening
check out
to
some
him.
medicinal brandy making.
Oh, yes. And who's going to pay for it?
Not me.
Me too, neither.
Not me.
I was telling the truth about Fitzy, mister.
Okay, calm down. Now tell me what happened.
I was standing here, minding me own business, when I saw this beautiful red sports car coming up over the hill.
Would you look at that, says I. And I going over to take a closer look. Next thing, Fitzy comes tearing out of the pub and nearly knocks me on my ass. But the car just flies at him. It was too fast for poor old Fitzy, and hit him an awful wallop. He goes flying up on top. Jesus, says I thought he was a goner. Next thing, the driver hops out, and I couldn't believe my eyes.
Gosh, I want an animated show.
He was dressed like a bloody pixie.
Did this pixie have a scar on his cheek?
I couldn't see. He was wearing a stupid mask. Are you a special agent?
Sorry to disappoint you, kid, but I'm not. I'm just an ordinary guy caught up in a whirlpool of intrigue.
And you're drunk.
Not so.
Yeah, you've been drinking mucky beer in the boozer.
Only a few glasses.
I've never actually drunk before in this game, so that was pretty cool.
Did Fitzgerald drop anything when he was hit?
I didn't see. It all happened so fast.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
The plastic cover had been smashed by the pixie's car, revealing a switch. I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand.
Why'd you even touch it, dude? I suppose because I asked him to.
Hello? Couleur.
Jacques cute.
Nico?
Who is this?
It's me, George.
Who
Oh,
is the
hello,
other
George.
Americans to
Where
be
are
calling?
you?
I'm in Ireland.
What's it like there?
Kinda sleepy. Comatose, even.
Did you get to talk to Pigram?
I haven't found him yet. I figured I'd call you first. Are you okay?
Oh, sure I am. Don't worry about me, George. Any signs of our friend the clown?
You're kidding. You probably never even heard of Lochmarn.
Considering you just found out he was here.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
I don't want anything.
Just give me a shout when you do.
I think I actually have to drink this. And then ask for another beer, and then I think he can't pour it. If I remember correctly.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Give me another beer, dude. Give everyone another beer. Let's party, guys.
I think you've had enough, don't you?
Hey, listen. Is it supposed to taste the way it does?
Gopaline stout is brewed from the finest chemicals in the world. I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I could fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my dear, is it?
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, no. Isn't that marvellous? Ha! Here's a house bedevilled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer. And when you've finished that, will you take a look at the pumps?
Come on, you old piece of shit.
Almost as if he'd sensed my intentions, the old derelict snatched the wire from the table. As soon as the old guy looked away, I grabbed his piece of wire.
Oh, you would have been covered in all of that shit as well. That's so yuck.
It was an electrical plug attached to the glass washer. It was a telephone, incongruous in the rustic setting of the homely bar.
Oh, yuck, man. It's so fucking gross.
No.
He says they're unhygienic.
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire. I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half pint to that man on the house. Now, could you take a look at the
Half a
pumps?
pint?
I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
There isn't a light in your cellar? Incredible. I have the fiddler's just like chilling there.
What a dumb place to store a flashlight. A dark cellar. The only way I was going to find anything down there was to feel around.
100% mix.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Okay. I thought George takes his jolly old time. That's why I love in Broken Sword 3 you can actually use a controller and play the game. As George and Nico.
It was a trap door in the sidewalk. I lifted the trap door, and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
George just went back to his idle animation. I'm totally okay. That was not the scariest shit I've ever had happen to me in my entire life. Fine. I'm fine. You're like, I know for a fact that little shit saw me.
Then I noticed a flash of light, something sparkling beneath the open trapdoor.
Was George's face like 3 times longer than it should have been?
It was Peagrim's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. As I held it aloft, I realized the fascination it could command. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire. I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way, you're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
But it's only Broken Sword 1 that I remember.
It was a couple of paper sacks filled with trash. I searched the trash, but there was nothing useful there. It was a large blue gemstone. It was the barman's flashlight.
Whoa, American English is very interesting, eh? Barman. It was the barman. Yeah, I know, right? And it's because of the stupid towel puzzle.
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Oh, bro, yeah, the goat. We literally had to get someone to help us.
And soaked it with water.
Because the internet wasn't really an accessible thing there.
I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping.
So question, I can flood the bottom here? I can literally flood this pub. Should I flood the pub or not flood the pub? I think he's a bit of an asshole, but I don't think he deserves a flooded pub. Cool. Sweet. Since we're not going to... Yeah.
Hi. Do you speak English?
Well, no, what if I was to say
What?
no?
You're in
An
Ireland.
implication of cognizance shrouded in denial. A pretty poser of a paradox indeed.
I gave him the look I'd perfected when I was 12 and was going to be the greatest hypnotist of all time. It was a killer.
Are you attempting to hypnotize me, or is it the constipation you're suffering?
I was a little out of practice. What do you make of this tissue?
That's a sorry sight to wave about in public.
Oh, it's theatrical grease paint.
And that makes it all right, does it? I must remember that next time someone complains about the state of me handkerchief.
Would you like to shake my hand?
What is this? I don't do that male bonding stuff.
What do you make of this matchbook?
Seems ordinary enough to me.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't. Is it used on sheep?
No, it's for lifting the covers off drains.
Never. How?
Well, the end of the tool fits into the hole in the cover.
They'd slip out. Angles are wrong. You'd never do it.
I have. I did it in Paris. Do you recognize the name on this card?
I can't read that little writing.
It says Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics.
Is that your name, Tommy Merlin?
No. But what a great stage name. It had what my high school hypnosis act had lacked, style and class. For a few seconds, I bathed in spotlights on a thundering tide of applause. Tommy Merlin, hypnotist.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. I just remembered something. Maybe not. This is the gem that Pegram found in the castle.
So that's what all the fuss was about. I can't see why myself. Why men would fight and steal and kill over a little bauble like that.
Well, it's kind of neat the way it sparkles.
That guy's just nonchalantly, you have a very expensive diamond?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, but I wouldn't trust him. His eyes are too close together. He's
Right?
not a friend of yours, is he?
Oh no, far from it. In fact, I believe it's the face of a killer.
I knew it! Piggy eyes. Can't trust him.
What? Okay.
Does this false nose mean anything to you?
You're a circus clown.
No, but I got this from someone who disguised himself as a clown.
Is that a fact? Why did you do that now?
He's a psychotic killer. I think he may be connected with Pegram's disappearance. Have you any use for this towel?
Whatever gave you that idea? Oh dear me, no.
Good book?
A book? It's a passport to a world of fantasy and imagination.
Yeah, what's the title?
Creative Shelving for Beginners, the 1978 edition.
Perfect.
What's so cool about home improvement?
There's nothing like it. The resinous autumnal aroma of seasoned wood, the rhythmic rasp of the blade. Ah, no wonder our Lord came to earth as the son of a humble carpenter. I bet he was a wizard with a chisel and a length or two before.
Surely the portrayal of Christ's adoptive family as humble artisans is a symbolic metaphor.
I don't know about that, but I know they were carpenters. Haven't you read the book?
Well, no. But I have seen The Greatest Story Ever Told, and I don't recall Jesus putting up any shelves. What can you tell me about the castle?
Not much, I'm sorry to say. Most of its history is long forgotten. Ah, but if these old stones could only speak, what stories they'd tell. Stories to make your toes curl and your blood run cold. You know, this castle is said to be over 600 years old.
In the grand scheme of things, in Ireland, aren't there castles that are like 1,000 years old, built in the literal, like, 1000s?
Who built the castle?
Mad Phelan, the first lord of Lochmarn. Well, I say lord, but actually he was little more than a village chieftain. He built his castle from the remains of the Templar preceptory.
Interesting.
Do you mind if I climb up your haystack to get into the castle?
What? You'd break your stupid neck for sure. Do you think I stand by and see your brains dashed out?
I'd be very careful, and I promise not to sue.
You won't get the chance, not while I'm here to stop you.
Where was the site of the Templar preceptory?
Right here, on Temple Hill. Phelan built right on top of the old wall. It's said that deep beneath these walls, there's a Templar chapel.
Which is what Pegram found.
Did Pegram discover the chapel?
I don't know. His workers were sworn to secrecy.
Have you seen Professor Pegram?
No, he's packed up and gone.
Do you happen to know where?
Back in England, I suppose.
Do you think Pegram's disappearance is due to the curse?
Look at the facts. He dug up the gem. He disappeared. Bingo. It doesn't take a degree in mathematics to work that one out, does it? You don't have to be a smarty Pythagoras with a calculator.
I guess not.
Pegram has run off with the gem.
I've got the gem. I just told you about it.
Did you have...
I caught a
shivers.
glimpse of a flash of
Everything
red
shivers
on
with
the
every
hill
car.
and heard the racket. Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car? And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
The driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah, he knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot! How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right under the car?
I mean, the car was traveling too fast.
But you'd have thought the idiot could have heard it coming.
Maybe you know the guy who was hit by the Ferrari. His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him all right. That's me nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay car. Was he killed by the car?
Oh no, but he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
I think you ought to know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle, his own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma. Stay here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, there's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
You don't have to demolish the haystack to go look for Sean. I'll stay here in your place and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvelous! I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
He's not even going to look for him at all.
He strode off in the direction of McDevitt's bar, leaving me to contemplate the stack of hay. On the back of the cart was a crazily stacked tower of hay bales, leaning precariously against the castle wall.
It's bent the wheels out of shape. They're fucked.
The stack of hay stopped, short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland.
Yeah, right? Like, I know we used to climb on the garage roof when we were kids, but even I know my limits.
I inserted the end of the lifting key in the mortarless crack and gave it a firm shove. It remained lodged in the wall, jutting out to form a step.
I think it is. I think it is when we lose the tool. Take my love, I'll never ask for too much. R.I.P. Tito. You should have stuck to it, bro. This game's amazing. But we know the feeling. We had to get some outside help. So I need to... yeah, there he is.
It was the fiercest, meanest-looking old goat I'd ever laid eyes upon.
You know what's annoying? Is the puzzle solution is actually so simple, but we were kids, alright? We were actual children. As an adult, it makes logical sense. As a child, how the fuck were we supposed to figure this out?
The rope by which the goat was tethered had become tangled on the old plowshare. The goat was tangled up with the old plow. Hey, Billy! The animal fixed on me with an evil glare. Behind the malice and resentment, there was a cool intelligence. How you doing, boy? I felt as threatened as I'd been by the assassin and his goons in Paris.
We had a family friend help us. No, sorry, Bobby. Uncle Wayne. Okay, I need to go wet my towel. That sounds like a euphemism, but I actually do have to go wet my towel. What is he whistling? I'm sure. I'm certain it's some Irish tune. I love this. Is it going to look for his nephew?
The farmer was drinking and chatting with his pals as if nothing had happened. Maybe abduction had replaced cattle raiding as their national pastime.
I actually haven't fixed McDavid's thing. His pipes. His pumps.
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
So if you leave the taps running, it floods this place. And when you go back to Nicolad's apartment, George goes, "Oh, the whole place flooded because some idiot left the tap on." Well, the faucet, sorry, they didn't say tap.
I held
there,
the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water. I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping.
Okay, we need to be quick as fuck. Go, George, go. Go, George, go. Be as quick as you motherfucking can. Run that ass, George. I think you have merged the kidnapping of Sean and Maguire together. Which makes sense considering we played this game like 20 plus years ago. Yeah, literally, like what? 25 maybe? Yeah, I've done that with heaps of shit. I go back and rewatch a movie and I'm like, huh, that is not what I remember happening.
As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris. I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints. The bench had probably been used by Pegram and his archaeological team. The only object on the table which interested me was a small sack. The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand. As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand.
Yo, it's probably on GOG. I could just get it.
I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled.
That's kind of the point, to point and click, Sam.
I squeezed the towel as hard as I could, but it was barely damp.
Bro, okay, so I've got to... Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I don't remember the time it being this strict. George, also, how are you walking around with a wet towel in your... Like, bro, did Ziploc bags exist at this point in history? No, he's just got a pack and save bag. Well, they got in America, Walmart. He's got a Walmart bag. Or Tesco's? Whatever the fuck their big chain is. Hey, thanks for becoming a fan, Don. Don Walker is a fan. I'm an outlaw. Oh, yo, okay, cool. Is it another hand animated one? It's like my favorite thing about Broken Sword. And Beneath the Steel Sky, I think, was also from Revolution Software, the same people who made Broken Sword. Nah, do you know what I think it is? So the human brain is very good at correcting spelling. So I think what's happening is you're like mistyping only one letter, and if you look at it, it is just one letter, and your brain goes, that's correct. That's why proofreading should be done by somebody that's not you when you proofread a book.
Creaked.
Hang on, sorry George, we gotta Tokyo Drift this, my bro.
I shut.
It's like if you put a word. Bro, Steven Spielberg actually hardcore loves gaming. Do you know he came up with Medal of Honor? He came up with Medal of Honor. And then that series unfortunately shat the bed once he left. He like literally left and it just became awful. Steven, come back. Make Medal of Honor again, bro. Please. Oh, sick. Spielberg's also a nut for like classic animation as well. He's just a hardcore nerd, bro. But I love how he got into video games right in the beginning as well. Like, he so interests me. He must have been so disappointed when E.T. sucked. Yeah, Steven Spielberg is so interesting. He loves video games, bro. I could never get into FMV games, same. I just wish they got recycled.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster.
There's only one FMV game I've ever loved, and that was Lands of Lore, Guardians of Destiny.
I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Oh, is the chat slow? Interesting. Oh, I've never actually experienced that. I want to test something. That took like 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm not getting any delays. Sorry, Max. That might be a Gizzy internet thing. Yeah, that might be a Gizzy internet thing. Sorry, Max. Which reminds me, I actually have that router we spoke of. Oh, I see.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
What I love about this puzzle, right, is George cannot physically lift this. So there's something here that archaeologists actually do use to help George get around the fact he can't physically lift this. That's just like genius, man. I love that. Because a lot of point and click games, the puzzles are just bullshit, like just made up nonsense. And you're like, that was kind of the appeal back in the day. I love how different animation teams always handled George. But in certain FMVs, George just like looks different. The different teams in Rev were doing it. Bro, can you do this one same with George?
Yeah,
okay.
Last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Oh, the
Hardly.
Pope guy.
He was dead.
Oh, what
and
the
you
fuck?
say Pigram has disappeared?
Without a trace.
You slept in the dead guy
But
room.
my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Why did you stay in the dead guy room?
Pigram's gem?
The Templar's gem. Whoever
There's no
Jacques
fucking
Marquet
way.
is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man.
Yo, Max. With your probleme with the chat delay, try leaving the stream and coming back.
Let's take another look at the manuscript. That's the gem that Pegram found in Lochmarn.
Mean, Cole, we need Andre Lobineau.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
Yeah, that sounds like it's your internet,
I
Max.
can't sit here all day, much as I'd like.
I've got a
to.
very expensive
Okay.
router here with your name
Don't
on it.
forget to look for Lobineau at the Kron Museum. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay.
Oh,
Anything
that's a
else
cool
I can do
idea.
for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat.
Just take care of yourself.
Having a real router, it's a whole experience. It's like Aladdin once said, it's a whole new world. I can show you the world. Slapping up that ticket. Sorry, what was that, Aladdin? On this magic carpet
hi.
ride.
Hello, my handsome friend.
What do you make of this gem?
Very nice, chérie. A present for your girlfriend?
She's not my girlfriend.
Nonsense. You and her were made
Oh,
for
right.
each
Tell
other.
me about it, boo. Tell me the fuck about it.
See you later.
That's
Bro,
right,
if you two don't get married in 6,
You will.
I'm retiring from life. I'll go live as a hermit in the Himalayas. You hear that, Cecil? You hear that, Cecil, motherfucker? Rue de Jury, Moussekran. Okay, we're going to go see Andre Lobineau, because I don't like him. And then we're going to go see it to the Poste de Police. The police are on a post, eh? Fuck. Shit. Motherfucker. There he is.
He was a thin-faced, pallid guy with a questionable taste in outlandish clothes. My mother used to dress like that.
Hasn't even spoke to Andre yet, already hates him?
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No, I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay, shoot.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing.
Oh, bro, you're boring.
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Andre.
Not now, Georgie.
Oh, fuck, I remember he calls him that.
Do you recognize this white powder, Andre?
No.
Does this matchbook mean
Aren't you an archaeologist?
Alamut is the name of the place where the Hashashin were based.
Where is it?
Somewhere in what used to be called Persia. I'm not too hot on modern geography, I'm afraid. The most recent map I have shows America as an English colony.
What do you make of this tool?
Interesting.
Oh, when
Where
do
did
we
you
lose
get
it then?
From a dig in Paris.
Vraiment? I didn't realize there were any excavations in progress in the city.
What do you make of this ID card?
Nothing.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Pegram? Professor Nigel Pegram? He's in Ireland, investigating a Templar
Whoa,
site.
that's a cool way to say Ireland.
He was, until he disappeared.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so. You're not one of those crazies who think the Templars still exist, are you?
Well, I try to keep an open mind on the matter. Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
Take a look at this nose, Lobineau.
It really doesn't interest me, Georgie.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in
Gosh,
depth,
I love
but I
this
didn't
game.
have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
Every character is like
Second
fully
week of
realized.
July?
Maybe. Yes, it was, just before Bastille Day.
So Pegram was in Paris at the same time as the other victims.
Pardon? Victims of what?
Nothing. Just thinking aloud.
Interesting. So Plantard and other people were all in Paris at the same time.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure, it was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
Yo,
That
humans really did some
explains the
fucked up
image
shit
of
to
the
each other in the
hanged
past.
man.
Like, I know we do some
I
fucked up
found
shit
a
now, but
reference
like,
to Montfaucon
we were
in
real
Ireland,
fucked
in a
up back
village
there.
called Lochmarn.
Hey, bro, I came up with this new torture method. Oh, yeah, how does it work? Well, see, this wooden hand grabs you by the bollocks. I'm picking up what you're putting down here. And you spin this crank until it turns your bollocks off your body. What do you think about this? Bro, make it happen. Ask the king about it. We'll get it settled out next Saturday.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
What can you tell me about Philippe le Bel?
He was responsible for the extermination of the Knights Templar.
I know that, but why was Philip so hot to get rid of them?
Mostly because he wanted to get his hands on their treasure. He had an enormous debt and a lifelong war with England to fight.
Yeah, right?
The trouble was, the Templars were a highly respected holy order.
Like, what was it called? The bull? They'd chuck you in like a fucking metal bull and make it hot? What the fuck?
If the Templars were so powerful, how did this Philippe dude wipe them out?
By underhanded, dishonorable means, of course. The Pope was Clement V, a Frenchman.
French, huh? Handy for Philippe.
Fate had nothing to do with it. He was Philippe's puppet, planted to further his political ambition.
Yo.
Philippe wanted the wealth of the Templars and used Clermont to get it.
So what was Philippe's plan? What happened?
Sealed orders were sent out all over France, not to be opened until the appointed day. That day was Friday, July 13th. That's the origin of our superstition regarding that date.
Oh, really?
Dawn, throughout the whole of France, the Templars were arrested. It was the biggest
That's where Black Friday
in the
comes from.
history of the world.
Oh, sorry, Friday the 13th.
What happened to the Templars after their arrest?
Philippe was out for blood, so he handed the Templars over to the Inquisition. Not surprisingly, they confessed to a sensational and sordid list of blasphemies.
Like what?
Oh, the sort of things you read about in the gutter press. Devil worship, lewd sexual practices, spitting on the Holy Cross, that kind of thing.
Well, that must have given their lawyers some headaches.
Whether or not the accusations were true, this was not good publicity. Most of the charges were probably cooked up, but so were the Templars, literally. Hundreds of them were found guilty of heresy and flamed grilled at the stake. They died protesting their innocence.
Who, Andre Lobino? The voice actor, I'm unsure.
But surely Philippe had no proof of his charges against the Templars.
A man will admit anything under torture. The Inquisition fabricated some nonsensical demon called Baphomet, and then suggested to their victims that this was what they worshipped.
But they didn't have to agree.
The records show
Yeah. I don't know if his
coming to
VA is
trial
actually French.
with both feet burnt off. Fragments of flesh and charred bone falling from the stumps. What would you not admit to stop such torment?
So there was no truth at all in the Baphomet accusations?
Not a shred. Almost every victim described the idol differently. No, Baphomet never existed outside the sick minds of the Inquisitors.
So Philippe stole the Templars' riches, huh?
Oh no, they weren't stupid. The king's troops marched first on the temple in Paris, then to the Templar home port at La Rochelle. There was no trace of the treasure, and the fleet of the Knights Templar had set sail.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe.
Imagine if they still actually existed.
Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power
That'd be
in
unstoppable.
Christendom.
They would have literally created the European Union, but like 1,000 years beforehand, or
Is it
600
true
years
the treasure of the
beforehand.
Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Oh, if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people
Well,
even
King
now
Arthur,
who
eh?
say the Templars
We'll come back to
still
that.
exist.
Put a pin in that.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah, not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. Maybe it was my imagination, but I noticed a predatory look in his eye.
Yeah,
So,
Andre is the creep.
His friendly historian had turned into the big bad wolf. This friend, who has the manuscript,
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
she lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
He was a thin-faced...
I know, right? Yeah, I know. It's out the gate, G. And saying that though, Nicocula is the one who asked George to go bring Andre over. So, you know. Oh, hang on. If I remember correctly, something happens if you do things in the wrong order here. So I could be remembering wrong and there was a pointless save. Or was it?
Excuse me.
Hey,
What do you want
this
now?
is Dr. Lugajix. It's hard to say.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic, in the Avenue des Hérissons.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
That's so good.
Maybe not. Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur.
Rosso is a very interesting character.
It's Stobart, monsieur. He insists on talking to you again.
She has psychic bullshit, eh? I will use the powers of my mind,
Thank you,
Moo.
Moo.
Oh, sir, you crazy asshole. Drop the case, George. I'm French and bold.
What now, monsieur?
Ever heard of a guy called Marquet? Jacques Marquet?
Marquet. I know the name well. He has a record for suspected blackmail, kidnapping, arson, and art theft.
An all-rounder, huh? How come he's on the loose?
His bravado is matched only by the courtroom skills of his attorney.
Have you heard of the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. But of course, monsieur, their fame is widespread throughout France. We haven't forgotten them, unlike the rest of Europe.
It was the King of France who persecuted them, though.
Indeed.
That shook his cool. Underneath his cultured facade, the man was real twitchy. You're obviously a great admirer of the Knights Templar.
Isn't
They
he
were men
just?
of great honor, monsieur. The flower of chivalry.
Not everyone would share your views, Inspector.
Not everyone shares my passion for Bartok.
But if the Templars were as honorable as...
That's enough. I do not wish to hear your uninformed opinions, Stobart.
What do you make of this, Inspector?
Astounding. Where did you come by a stone like that?
I was given it by a man in a bar in Ireland. Do you recognize the gem?
It is unfamiliar to me. If such a jewel had been stolen, I would know it for sure.
Why do you get so wound up about the Knights Templar? They've been dead for centuries. I shouldn't have pushed my luck. Maybe his ancestors were Templars. Whatever. I saw the anger flare in his eyes like a distant summer thunderstorm.
The Templars were the first true internationalists. 800 years on, and still the world is fragmented by nationalistic flag-waving fools. You will excuse me.
I didn't get to talk to him about Pegram.
Excuse me.
What do you want?
Is Rosso here?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
One moment. It's Stobart, monsieur. He insists on talking to you again.
Thank you, Moo.
It's crazy I can hear his fan. But it's like not mixed properly, so that the fan's just the whole room.
What now, monsieur?
Have you heard of Professor Pegram, the archaeologist?
Molly Pegram? The second son of Lord Barclay Pegram?
I don't know. I only read about him in a magazine.
So much for the efficacy of rehabilitation. What has he done this time?
He made an important archaeological find in Ireland. Do you know Pegram well?
I have connections with the family, but I wouldn't say I knew him at all.
Is his name really Molly?
He's really in the fucking know way.
That was the nickname he was given at school. All his friends and acquaintances know him as Molly.
Oh, is that it?
So long, Inspector.
I suppose it's just to get us to, like, have interest, right? Okay. We're gonna go on a quick hunt for Andre Lobinow's voice actor. By going... A Broken Sword Wikia? And they're called fandoms now, eh? I hate that. Wikia was so much better. Well, I won't say neither here nor there. Okay, so voices. Oh, whoa, I really can't find his VA for 1. What the hell is Broken Sword 2.5? Well, he got pretty cut when we were talking about it, eh? The game created by fans explains what happens during the time between Broken Sword 2 and it took 8 years to develop. Okay, what in the world? Broken Sword 2.5? I'm gonna have to look into this, because if this exists, I'm straight out gonna play it. But yeah, I can't find anything on the original Andre. IMDb. Oh, okay. America called it the Circle of Blood due to some sort of weird thing, some religious law. Yeah, America called it Circle of Blood for some reason. It doesn't tell me who voiced who. That's annoying. Oh, whoa, the voice actor of Andre from the third game passed away from COVID-19. It killed him. Oh, that's sad. Well, that's hard out, bro. Yeah, I can't find anything on the original voice actor. That's annoying. Because surely they're credited. This isn't like Japanese game. Anyway, we're going to get back to the game, guys. That was a cool rabbit hole to fall down. Like, that was a great rabbit hole to fall down. Alright, let's go. So, last time I played this, which was, I think, about 10 years. No, it wasn't that long ago. I think I might have actually played it on the channel. It was a long time ago, though. Like, maybe 5, 6 years ago. I went straight to Montfaucon in the hospital, so I actually missed out on Andre and Nico. But we're gonna not do that this time. And then we're gonna go to Montfaucon. Oh, thanks, Max. I love Broken Sword. It's so fucking cool.
Hi, Nico.
What are you sounding so chipper about?
I'm full of the joys of the fall.
Paris in the fall.
I can't imagine why.
Because Sergeant Moo has given me another lead. The guy who was supposed to collect the gem, Jacques Marquet.
You found him!
He's in a hospital here in Paris. I guess that was the killer's doing, to stop him meeting Pegram.
Maybe. Are you going to try to talk to Marquet?
What have I got to lose?
Plenty.
Have you found out any more about the Knights Templar?
Yes, I have. The guy responsible for their downfall was Philippe IV, the King of France, otherwise known as Philippe le Bel.
I've heard of him.
Well, he is known to history as Philippe the Fair, but I doubt if the Templars called him that. I'm sure Andre will tell you all about him.
Oh, okay, it's not acting as if I...
See you soon.
Yeah, see you.
Okay, so Montfaucon or the hospital. So Montfaucon is the monastery where they did all the killing. And the hospital is where the Jacques is. Who was supposed to receive the gem from Pegram. So, hospital with Mr. Shiny. Oh, bro, is it almost 10:30? Are you serious? Bro, why does time actually fly when you're having fun? Explain. I want answers in triplicate. Mr. Shiny. I remember when Lala started calling me Mr. Shiny. Hey, you leave me alone, alright?
The old building managed to retain some of its original grandeur, but the modern additions looked like a baseball cap on a statue of a medieval saint. There was no sign of the crew of the ambulance.
Oh, wow, the sound design in this game is freaking great.
I felt a little guilty as I tried the door, like I was about to rob a grave. I gripped the handle with an involuntary tremble in my hand and pulled. The door was locked. The young man's face was full of eagerness and enthusiasm. I figured he was fresh from college. Hi, my name's George Stobart.
She was just called out across the room to him.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit. Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
And no, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Is that a nasal discharge, sir?
No, it's grease paint. Shake my hand, Benoit.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir.
How come?
Dermatitis.
I don't have dermatitis.
I do.
Do you know what this white powder is?
No, sir.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamet?
No, sir.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Isn't that used to snap the patient's ribs when exploring the abdomen?
I hope not. Have you ever heard of a guy named Merlin?
No, sir.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
Not me, sir.
This guy's fucking great. That's me there?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur. I've never seen him before.
Does this false nose mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Whoever voice acted this guy was having so much fucking fun in the booth.
See you later.
Right.
Like, straight up, whoever voice acted that motherfucker was having a great time. Oh, this lady's inexplicably
Excuse me?
American, right?
Yes, sir.
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plants. They were my idea.
We will
A
never
little
know.
greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Oh, what? What do you think, guys? Should we lie? Say we're related to Jacques Marquet? How are we feeling, guys? Is that 5 second delay become 20? I'm gonna say no. What does chat reckon? Okay, I'm gonna make the decision then. No.
No, I'm conducting a private investigation.
Then I can't help you.
Oh, right.
So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
Hey, Nick,
A
welcome
thin
to the
guy
stream.
who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from the zoo.
Has Marquet been visited by a man in a clown costume?
Oh, no.
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
Oh, he's just trying to make their lives better.
Can you think of any use for this greasy tissue?
I guess you could use it to baste a roast turkey.
What the fuck?
I'd like to shake you by the hand.
Don't be fresh, young man.
Is this plaster any use to you?
I'm allergic to plaster.
Oh.
Have you heard of the Club Alamet?
No. It sounds romantic, doesn't it? The kind of place where you get little umbrellas and whelks.
Huh? That's romantic? What does this tool suggest to you?
Is it a crack detector?
Huh?
Polar explorers use them to poke about in the snow.
No. Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's... Nurse Grendel's ward.
What does this gem suggest to you?
I advise you not to flash that around. The hospital insurance wouldn't cover it if it was stolen.
Have you seen this man here at the clinic?
No, sir. And I never forget a face.
What does this false nose remind you of?
Oh, it's a clown's nose.
That's right.
Why don't you give me a break and go and play with someone else?
That's fucking
What's so
awesome.
bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock, alarm call. 6:10, bowel movement, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
Oh, you mean she's been here a long time?
No, I mean there's not a man in this clinic who hasn't sprawled out on her.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse
She's
Grendel's
having
ward?
sex with Nurse
Down
Grendel.
the corridor on the left, turn right at the
Hey,
senior
Nurse Grendel, could I get you to
consultant's
come into
washroom.
my office?
Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at
This is
the
a
end.
French guy, eh?
That's
Ma
J2.
chocolate honey. Come here, Nurse Grendel.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
The young man's face was full of eagerness and enthusiasm. I figured he was fresh from college. The guy seemed to be practicing his air of authority. Today, he was working on his withering stare. The woman managed to look overworked and hassled, though she didn't appear to be doing anything.
What?
Hi, my name's George Stobart. Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
What do you make of this tissue, sir?
Interesting. I thought I knew the ins and outs of the human body, but this has me beat. If I were you, I'd have this sample analyzed.
May I have the honor of shaking you by the hand?
You may not. I don't encourage physical contact between my staff.
Does this white powder mean anything to you?
No, sir. I do not pretend to know the pharmacist's job.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamat?
No, sir. I have not.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
Sacre bleu! That's exactly what I needed in my last operation.
It is?
I had to improvise with a knitting needle and a couple of cords. If only you'd been on hand at the time, my patient would have given his right arm for it.
What the fuck? This hospital
Does
sucks.
the name Thomas Merlin mean anything to you?
No, it does not.
Look at this, Doc. It's a genuine medieval-type gemstone.
Yes, so I see. Remarkable.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, sir, I do not.
Do you recognize this red nose, sir?
No, I do not.
This is a hospital, not a circus ring. We minister to the sick in body, not the sick in mind.
Thanks for your help. Hey, Benoit.
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, miss. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean to get my hands dirty with a nurse.
See you later.
I mean, that's not what I meant at all. I haven't heard of that hot chocolate mama on J2. I'm just a lonely Frenchman.
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow. He looked blissfully happy for no apparent reason. Hello.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
What the fuck, George? That was cold for like no
What
reason.
does this tissue suggest to you?
You have a cold. What you need is vitamin C and a side order of machine oil.
Hey, do you know if you start whistling, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Would you like to shake my hand?
Not until I'm washed, if you don't mind, sir. You can pick up all kinds of things in a hospital.
Like nurses, right?
No, sir. Bugs and germs. And fungal infections.
Do you recognize this powder?
Is that dandruff?
No way.
It sure looks like dandruff.
It's plaster.
Ugh.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
You should never ever play with matches.
I know that, but...
People get hurt when they do.
Sure.
They end up in hospital, like the burger lady. She was so burned up, they didn't know whether to use bandages or onions.
What the fuck?
Would this tool be any use to you?
No, sir. Mr. Shiny has no user-serviceable parts. Whatever that means.
I mean, you're not allowed to fix it yourself. It's terrible when a product's made that way, man.
Do you
It's so
recognize this
anti-consumer.
pass?
No, I don't. Should I?
No, but I wondered if you'd seen a stranger flashing it about.
No, sir. But if I had, Mr. Shiny would take care of him.
What do you think of this, Sam?
Oh, boy. What is it?
A priceless gemstone, found in a medieval castle in Ireland. Get me into Marquet's ward, and it's yours.
I don't wear jewellery.
If this gem was yours, you'd be able to buy 100 Mr. Shinies.
Don't be silly. There's only one Mr. Shiny.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Who is it?
That's what I'm asking you. Have you seen him before?
How should I know? You haven't told me who he is.
Take a look at the photo.
Yeah, okay.
Now, have you seen him before?
No.
Take a look at this red nose.
Are you a policeman?
No, this is a clown's nose, not a policeman's. Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the corridors?
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Please, don't call him that.
Thanks, Max.
He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years, and he's never let me down once.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you?
No, I
don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind my back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull through.
Whatever you've got with this metal mopwood is probably a
Mopwood.
fine and noble thing.
It is? Say, it's not every day I meet someone as crazy as me.
Do you know a nurse called Grendel?
Sure I do.
Is she on duty today?
Yeah, end of the corridor, Ward J2.
See you later.
Yeah, take care now.
It was a life-sized marble figure of a guy in robes. The sculptor had tried to give him a look of paternal authority and concern. To my mind, he looked just plain constipated. There was no way I could improve on the sculpture with the janitor watching me.
Okay, this is gonna be the last thing I do, and then I'm gonna go to bed. The fact I remember this is how you solve this puzzle is blowing my mind. George, where the fuck are you? Okay, sweet.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
George, we didn't have time to fuck around watching the guy do what he's doing. George, what are we doing? Why are we watching him plug Mr. Shiny back in? Oh, I see.
Dr. Stobart at your
That's a good
service.
point. I didn't even think about that, Max. That's a really fucking good point.
I guess the water cooler was for the use of people lost in the corridors. Maybe the face of the unaccountably happy domestic had made me unduly suspicious. I mean, I knew it was only my imagination, but the water tasted, well, peculiar.
Sweet. Okay. All right. Well, we'll pick up on Sunday. I know tonight wasn't meant to be another stream, but the wife has to get ready for a trip tomorrow. She wasn't going to stream tonight. So thanks for joining us, and I'll catch you on Sunday. Tomorrow night, for those of you who are interested, Beef will be playing more Days Gone. Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys were here. All right, guys. Peace. Have a good